وسهلا بكل الذين ينضموا للاستماع إلى راديو بلدي أول راديو عربي أمريكي ويعنى بقضايا العرب في المحور. برامجنا في راديو بلدي كل يوم جمعة من 8 وحتى 9 صباحا مع ليلى الحسيني في بث حي ومباشر عبر WNZK راديو 690 AM. صباح الخير بلدي، صباح الخير لكل مستمعينا.
Welcome to Radio Baladi, the first Arab, Middle Eastern, and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on WNZK 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
Good morning, and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hashim with wnzk.com, the fastest growing digital business magazine in the Middle Eastern communities in Michigan. Thank you for being with us. This show is brought to you in cooperation between wnzk.com and US Arab Radio. Today is Friday, March 20th, 2020. The weather is a bit cold. The temperature could reach in the 50s or 40s. The night is going to get colder. We could get some rain. Supposedly starting spring, but things are a little bit different because we're dealing with a pandemic, as you well know. Most of you are home, and I want to thank you for tuning in. The number here is 248-557-3300. Please give us a call should you have a question or a comment. There has been a lot in the news that the number of the coronavirus and in Michigan, and this has increased tremendously, and it has exceeded 50 or 60 cases, confirmed cases. More testing are being done, and it could get a lot more worse than what it is. What we can do really is help the situation by staying home if we can, maintaining the social distances. We're going to be talking to Dr. Mustah later on. He's going to help us with some of the information that's being distributed and what's correct and what's not. And the things are so fluid. Things are changing drastically. Christy Rankin from Beaumont was supposed to be with us, and then there's a development with the health system there, and she just called and she said she was unable to because she had to deal with a quick situation at Beaumont. That we wish her the best and wish her to stay safe. What Beaumont Hospital system is, they have more than one hospital, and other hospitals really are doing today is trying to prepare as much as possible for what they expect, the onslaught of cases. Because what we have is that majority of the people who are with us, the majority of the people who have the virus it'll pass through them and they can deal with it. The system will deal with it, but a small percentage of them, 4% or 2% in all cases, they may have to go to the hospital. And going to the hospital is when the person is unable to breathe, as it was explained to me. And for that person to get to the hospital, they would have to be admitted in. And then most hospitals, what they're doing today is they're canceling all elective surgeries. They're canceling all cases that can wait. All of that is being done to make sure that they are ready, to make sure that they are available to deal with what's going to happen. However, most hospitals also are having a testing in front of their hospitals so you could walk through or drive through rather, get the testing and then keep going. This is another issue that I don't think we prepared for it as well as we should. And I wish that we did that earlier. And that is testing. We didn't do a lot of testing. We don't have a lot of tests. We don't have enough labs to do the test quickly enough. Why is that important? That's very important because we need people to, we need to identify who has the virus and who does not. So we don't keep infecting people more and more and more and more. And, hopefully we can get Christy or Mark Geary from Beaumont with us next time to tell us a little bit more about what they're doing there and what people need to know when they go there. They do ask that if you're not very sick, don't go to the hospital. And if you're not being referred by your doctor, don't go there. First, you have to talk to your doctor to make sure that that your condition really warrants that you go into the hospital. And because we don't want to inundate the system. And this is what we're afraid of. I'm sure on the news you've heard we want to flatten the curve. Flatten the curve. And what is that? The curve is the number of patients at a certain time. And if we can maintain that number low, number of people infected, then we are flattening the curve. And then what we are doing really is that we are releasing some of the pressure on hospitals. And I was watching yesterday different programs on television and did some research as well. The biggest issue is that whether hospitals have enough ventilators, whether hospitals have enough beds to deal with the expected number of casualties or even infected people, not casualties, or victims rather, and also the equipment, like gloves and masks and also forth and so on. And it's unfortunate that we didn't do really good enough job early on to prepare for that. It's really, really unfortunate. And, now we have our kids at home and we're trying to do the best. Schools are doing really good. Dr. Glen Maleyko is going to join us later on to tell us a little bit about, what plans are putting in place to have the distant learning and to learn online. And then, again, Dr. Mustah will join us to talk to us a little bit about what we need to know and to be aware of the misconceptions that, everybody tells you do this and do that. And some of them really can hurt you. They're not going to really help you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
إلي ساعة عم بستناك مشان نروح نتغدى بالشام.
الشام؟
إيه بالشام ومو بالشام.
شلون صارت هي؟
بدل ما نروح نتغدى بالشام
إيه
جابوا لنا الأكلات الشامية الطيبة لعنا لهم.
وشلون بقى؟
هذا مطعم دماس عم يعمل كل الأكلات الشامية الطيبة هو.
وطيبة؟
طيبة كتير.
شرفوا نتغدى سوا بمطعم دماس.
الأكل الشامي الأصيل فقط بدمس كوزين. زوروهم على 28841 أرشد لك بفارمينغتون هيلز، ولطلباتكم اتصلوا على 248-987-4609. That's 248-987-4609. دمس كوزين and catering، جبنا لكم الشام لعندكم.
If halal is important to your family, you can trust that Miramar will offer not only the highest quality halal products, but the best tasting and healthiest foods that can be placed on your family table with confidence. Miramar is the first and oldest halal certified food brand in America, serving the Arab and Muslim community, and offers a wide range of halal food products. Check out Miramar's halal food selection today by visiting Miramar's exclusive distributor, Ziad Brothers Importing at www.ziad.com.
When it comes to reproductive medicine, IVF Michigan Fertility Centers are the recognized leaders. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 5 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. As a founding member of IVF Michigan Fertility Centers, Dr. Nicholas Shama is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. Dr. Shama has performed over 10,000 IVF cases and has helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. American board certified in both obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility, Dr. Nicholas Shama is a very caring, compassionate, expert physician that understands not only the medical but also the emotional toil of infertility on his patients. When it's time, get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shama at IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio. Call toll-free 855-952-9600, 855-952-9600.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hashim with Michigan.com, and we're talking about what is really going on with the coronavirus and what we need to know and what are the misconceptions are, and it's more of an update on on what's really going on. And as you well know, our kids are home and our families home. Then we could be restricted to stay home. And California issued a statewide order for everybody to stay home in a bid to halt the virus. Michigan has asked us to stay home, but has not really forced us to, and we may take a little bit of time to stay home and just don't go anywhere. So, and the more we stay home, the more we limit the spread of the virus. And this is what everybody is worried about. And I asked as many people, as possible, I ask you kindly to, don't leave home unless you really have to. I haven't been to the office for, maybe a week now. And I'm working from home and, trying to help the kids from home as well. Good morning, Dr. Maleyko.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Hope you and your family are safe.
Yes, we are. Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, very quickly, the kids are home, and then you have put together an online a plan, and is it working, and what is the plan?
Yeah, so right now, because of obviously the uncertainty, and it came pretty quickly, the order as everything was changing, we're calling it enrichment. It's not a mandatory thing. It is a process where we have every teacher has the ability to deliver lessons and supportive programs, supportive materials for students online. So we don't want students to feel pressured. We're not grading at this time. Now that may change if it goes longer, but we are asking students to, work with the material, stay in contact with the teacher. I am very pleased. 5 years ago when I became superintendent, one of the things I kind of implemented and mandated was that every teacher in our district has a blog, and it took us a while to get training 5 years ago. And so we're very grateful because now we have every single teacher with a website blog that has at least that minimum ability to communicate with, students, teachers, families. And at that time, it was just the means to communicate and get lessons and information. Now it's even more critical. We also understand that some students may not have internet access or computers. So we've had, over the last week, we've been doing a Chromebook distribution process where we're loaning Chromebooks to students that may need technology. And so that's been ongoing, and it'll continue today. And the last day for that will be next Wednesday, makeup days. But by the end of the day today, we will have allowed that at every school in Dearborn.
Wonderful. How many Chromebooks are there? Are you giving out?
You know, I don't know how many. I have to get a number to date. I know. I believe we're in the thousands for sure. We have the ability for 17,000 in our district if we needed to. You know, some students may not need them, but I would say the high schools, from my understanding, have given out several hundred. Like Edso Ford, I was there yesterday. I think they had distributed like 300, and we're prepared to give out even more. We have 21,000 students. So we're able to go up to 17,000 if needed, but I don't think we're going to hit that amount that we need to distribute. I'll estimate that we'll probably end up giving about 9,000 by the time it's said and done.
These are loan Chromebooks, is that correct? They're going to have to return them back.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So what the issue is that the parents come in, they sign in, show ID, and we have to adjust them. We also have to follow safety laws. So they have filtration and other things on them that are connected to our district. And I got to give Troy Patterson, our IT director, a great amount of credit. Dr. Joe Chokol and our instructional team, they put this together in a short order. And I also got to tell you, I got to credit the teachers. The teachers have been outstanding. You should see the creative things that they're coming up with for online learning and providing lessons for students. I call it enrichment. It's not, you know, there's no way it's going to replicate the regular class. There's no way we can do that. You know, you can't snap your fingers and all of a sudden you do the same thing you could do online as you were doing in the schools.
Absolutely. Now, you're also giving out lunches as well. Is that correct?
Correct. We started that. Again, credit to the team. Our team has been working triple time. And Jeff Murphy, Josh Bain, our food service director, we started this past Tuesday, and we're able to give out lunch and breakfast for families. And today on Friday, they can actually get meals to cover the weekend as well. We have 6 locations set up, and we're going to expand that to one more next week. And we've given out, the first day we gave out 3,000 meals on Tuesday. Then it was 5,000 on Wednesday, and yesterday it was 7,000. I anticipate that it'll be a higher number today.
Absolutely. I know you're busy and we're out of time. What should people know and what you want students to know?
Well, you know what? Stay optimistic, stay safe and healthy. I'm also going to be doing my part. Effective Monday, we're shutting down central office physically, but services will be provided. We'll still have numbers and information on the website. I request that everyone follows the website. We'll continue to work, but we're going to do, I heard you say just before I came on the show, you're going to work from home. So I'm going to also lead by example and do my part. I'm going to have regular updates on the website. And again, we'll maybe only a couple people there physically, but we'll continue to provide meals and continue to take care of the community. And I got to say, Dearborn is a great place. Oh my gosh, you should see the people coming together. The PTA, the Board of Education, the teachers, people that want to help and provide support to each other, yourself. Everyone's willing to help. I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to do my part, and we're going to continue we will get through this. So stay optimistic. Things are going to look different. This is a new world right now, but it's okay. We will persevere. I'm confident of that. I'm an optimist. And by sticking together and helping each other out, staying positive, we'll get through this crisis. And I wish all those who are dealing with health issues all the best. My thoughts and prayers are with them and their families. And I appreciate you allowing me to come on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Maleyko. We really appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye now. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Doctor. You know, I'm really amazed how quickly the school district and everybody got the program together, how responsive, the teachers are. It's just amazing. I'm helping my children at home, and then they get with the teachers very quickly, and it's just amazing. It really amazes me how quickly everything is really going when it comes to teaching, when it comes to solving problems, when it comes to being responsive to explain I understand that it's not the same thing as when it comes to it's not the same thing as when they're in the classroom. And I'm not a certified teacher, and I don't know how to deal with the material. But considering what's really going on, I think the district has done a great job so far. And is Dr. Mustafa with us again?
Yep.
Good morning, Doctor.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us, and sorry for the delay. This is not a usual schedule, and we have dealing with a lot of emergencies. Dr. Fadia Mustra is an author and a researcher, is a surgeon with and a clinical investigator with CMU College of Medicine, and is an associate professor in the Department of Surgery at CMU Education Partners. And again, I want to thank you for being with us. Doctor,
you're very welcome. Thank you and your viewers for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of information on there. What do we need to know? As simply as possible, what do we need to know? What are we dealing with here?
Well, if you'd allow me, just before I answer that, just to briefly clarify, I am a recent associate professor of surgery with CMU. I'm in private clinical practice now in southeast Michigan in suburban Detroit. So to answer your question briefly, what do we need to know? Well, we need to know that this is a serious viral condition that causes a respiratory tract infection as its sort of mean ways of initiating the disease. And it is not like the common flu that we're used to. This is in a nutshell. Now, we can go into as much detail as we want about this, but I thought I'd start with this to highlight the fact that some are still seeing it as a common flu when it's not.
Yes, and how does the infection take place? Is it airborne? Is it by touch? Is it and what does it do to the body?
Well, the infection, the virus itself, the SARS-CoV-2 or the COVID-19, as the World Health Organization has called it, is a respiratory transmitted virus. It is airborne in a sense that it is transported through the air via droplets. And it is not as easily transmissible. Otherwise, it's these droplets that people cough or sneeze from outside their body that travel in the air up to about a distance of about 6 feet is what we know about how far a droplet can spread. And then it lands on surfaces. So then we touch these surfaces and different objects we have around us in our environment. When being touched, allow transmission of this virus onto us, our body, our being, and then we transmit it from one person to another that way as well.
Sure. What is the percentage of the infection taking place just being airborne aerosol?
The percentage of catching an infection? Well, that is a million-dollar question right now. We are trying to find that out, and it's partly a function of testing for people on a mass scale to be able to answer what is the likelihood of catching the infection in general. We are testing today, and we're doing a better job at it day by day, trying to identify people of priority, catching them, testing them, contact tracing, and rolling out the test so that we can get a better and better sense. But your question really comes down to what determines this sort of danger of this virus. And it relates not just to its transmission, but it relates to how easily it's transmitted person to person. It relates to how likely it is to cause death, or what we call in epidemiology case fatality, and to how likely is it to be carried by people that are asymptomatic and yet harboring this virus and then passing it on from one person to the other. Right now, we know that compared to the common flu, for example, the likelihood of transmitting it is higher, both at the asymptomatic stage, meaning you don't really have to be coughing or sneezing while feeling ill to pass this virus on if you are in fact carrying it. And it tends to transmit from person to person at a 1-to-4 ratio. Some people are saying it's about 2.5 to 3 as an average, meaning for every one person carrying it, the likelihood of spreading it away is in the order of 2 to 3 other people.
So proximity is the issue here. So you don't want to be near people who are infected, and you don't want to touch surfaces that they touch.
Right. To protect ourselves, which is very important right now, and it's not to distance you from people because we're antisocial beings or that we weren't meant to be social. In fact, this is something I also would like to emphasize, that we're trying to create a personal space, and the media has started using the word social distancing. What's important to take home from that, and messaging matters, is that you need to have your personal space expanded a little bit more than usual. Some people, just yesterday, I started hearing them calling it a physical distancing. But I'd like to emphasize that it's more about, think about your personal space, be conscious, give it a 6 feet radius, a 1.5 to 2 meter radius, so that to protect yourself from any droplet transmission. And when you do go out and touch spaces, be very conscious. Don't touch your hand, don't touch your face, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, where this virus is likely to get into your sort of mucous membranes and easily picked up by your body, because this relates to how powerful and virulent this virus is. It has evolved to be a little bit stronger than the common flu virus, influenza A, influenza B, for example, in its ability to just latch onto our human tissue and then get taken up into the human cells and start replicating and even spread before causing noticeable physical symptoms or disease in a person.
Absolutely. So, is it true that majority of people who may contact the virus or attract the virus or get infected, rather, may not show any symptoms or may not need hospitalization? Is that correct?
Yes, in parts true, meaning that the majority don't need hospital admission. But I'm not sure about the statement that the majority are asymptomatic. No, there is a proportion of people asymptomatic out there, and we don't know the number. And this, in part, relates to your first question about getting a sense of how prevalent is this virus and how likely is it transmissible in our community. So we don't know how many people are asymptomatic harboring this and why. It's because we're not testing them to find out how many test positive, how many test negative. But we do know that, yes, while we all need to be serious and vigilant about this virus, we also don't need to be so alarmed as to cause panic in the sense that, oh my God, this is some sort of death virus out there. It does kill people. We're starting to get a better understanding about who was impacted, how they're impacted, and how we can save those people at highest risk. But the good news is the majority, by far, don't need to be hospitalized. In fact, it's only about 19 to 20% of people that catch this illness that require hospital admission. And if I just can add something here, and this is a message to the young folks out there, and partly because it's been our responsibility with messaging, somehow the understanding got out that it's not a young person illness and that they're more protected and it's an older person disease. Well, I want to say that 2/3 of the hospitalized patients are actually between the ages of 20 and 40. While the majority are not hospitalized, only about 1 in 5 people get into hospital. But there's also, of those people that get into hospital, 1 in 5 or 1 in 3 is about, 1 in 3, yes, about a third is between the age of 20 and 40. So we need to be careful of younger folk too, not only for ourselves, but for spreading it to others.
Absolutely. What we're going to do, Doctor, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Will do.
KASHAT's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab offers a great array of your favorite Mediterranean meals. Meals range from lamb specialties, shawarma sandwiches, seafood dinners, and they offer special big trays of your favorite food, plus much more. KASHAT's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab address is 32839 Northwestern Highway in Farmington Hills. Their phone number is 248-538-9552. That number again is 248-538-9552, and the supermarket is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. KASHAT's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab will definitely leave you satisfied.
Worldwide Aid and Development provides humanitarian aid in several countries, especially in areas inside Yemen, Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan, in addition to others in Africa and around the world. Rockma Worldwide provides food baskets, container shipment, medical supplies, mental health care, education, orphan sponsorship, soup kitchens, and more. Go to rockmarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any amount donated to Rockma Worldwide will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
مركز طب رهاب للعلاج الطبيعي بإدارة الدكتور محمد فرح حسين، أخصائي العلاج الطبيعي بخبرة أكثر من 13 عاما. طب رهاب يقدم خدمات العلاج الطبيعي وإعادة التأهيل، ويضم مجموعة من أفضل أخصائي التشخيص الدقيق للحالات المرضية، مع خبرة عالية في التعامل مع الحالات التي تحتاج إلى إعادة تأهيل وعناية خاصة بعد العمليات والكسور. طب رهاب يستقبل كل الحالات المتعلقة بألم الرقبة، الظهر، المفاصل، شلل الوجه، الانزلاق الغضروفي، عرق النساء، الحوادث وإصابات العمل. خبيرات في المعالجة النسائية لخصوصيات تامة للسيدات. عندما تبحثون عن رعاية متميزة اقصدوا توب ريهاب للعلاج الطبيعي، الواقع على 15001 ميشيغان افنيو. وللمواعيد اتصلوا على 313-846-0555. That's 846-0555.
Are you going to start a restaurant or grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hashim of Michigan.com. We're talking to Dr. Mushrah about what we need to know about the coronavirus and how can we protect ourselves. Doctor, what are the basic things we need to do right now to make sure we're not spreading it to others and we're not really, getting the virus?
Okay, and this is where I put my public health hat on and say this. And what we need to do, really, not out of fear, panic, or to create extra unnecessary anxiety, but we do need to separate a little bit from contact, from physical contact, create space in our community as a whole to reduce spread. So when you're hearing about cities being locked down, and not to take that as scary or resist it because it's an infringement on human rights right now, but to understand that you're voluntarily being asked to do this. There's no martial law. People are asking you to be kind to yourself and to others. Stay away, reduce your outings for some time to allow time to do its effect and help us get over this virus as we deal with the people that have already been exposed to it. By reducing your visits outside the home to communal areas, by reducing, being in groups, by reducing the number of shopping trips that you do, and things that you get from the outside, you would reduce your exposure. Now, that's not to say that when you do go out to get your groceries and when you do go out to get your things, that all of a sudden you're at a heightened, elevated risk that, oh my God, you caught something. Rest assured that one, it's not spread everywhere, and two, the majority of people that get it don't even need hospitalization. But that being said, some people are dying. Young folks are dying. Older folks are dying. People with disease are dying. And people at higher risk, and we can go over the risk factors. But the point is, it is lethal at a rate that is higher than what we've been used to or seen before. So the best thing you can do is hunker down, find things to do at home. And that's important for your psychology as well, so we can get through this together.
Absolutely. So if I have to go out, basically, should I wear a mask? I've been wearing kind of gloves as well, and then trying to sanitize as much as possible. When I come home, I do the same thing. But the mask, is that unnecessary?
That's a good question to ask, only because it has a lot of implications. One, it's not necessary. The general advice right now from our authorities, the CDC, is that we don't need to be wearing masks when we get out if we're well. Now, that has many reasons why we're saying this. Part of it is we need to save the masks for people that need them most, and we can't be, drawing on the availability and supply of masks in the community, so that we can keep it for the people, the healthcare workers, people on the front line, the sick patients in our communities that need it more than we would, you and I, for example, feeling all unwell and have no reason to have to worry about having been exposed, to get up and put a mask on. Had masks been available for everybody, does it help? I think the answer to that question is it probably does, to be transparent with what I know so far about what's going on, especially with this newer knowledge, and we're learning every day together that there is some asymptomatic spread out there. So even if you're feeling well and you're coughing, would you help your neighbor by putting on that mask, even if you're feeling well and you're out there? It's not necessarily protecting you too much. It's more out of helping others and keeping as much of that, unexpected cough or sudden discharge of fluids from the mouth or from the nose caught in your mask. Now, do you need the mask to do that? That's even another good question to ask. The answer is no. Don't panic. You don't need that mask. You can actually use your elbow, the crease of your elbow, put it up against your face, your mouth and nose. If you feel you're going to sneeze, capture all those droplets, and you should be good when you get back out of whatever you're doing. You need to kind of put your groceries aside, put your things aside, wash your hands well, and do all those, the good advice that I don't want to repeat here, unless you think it's helpful to your audience. So you can use the crease of your elbow. You can have a tissue, carry along tissue with you, and for those times where you feel you need to sneeze, or just so you have something to sneeze into. But remember, if you have that, put it in a safe disposal. If you are wearing gloves while you're out and you sneeze into tissue, take the gloves off too and change them with a fresh set of gloves. Does it hurt to wear gloves when you're out there? It doesn't hurt. Is it necessary at this point as a general public health directive? The answer is no.
Okay. And if I'm wearing gloves and can I sanitize them and use them again, or no?
That's not a good idea. That's sort of a mitigating strategy for dealing with shortages, because we're not sure how well you succeed in sanitizing the gloves. I think gloves should be used and disposed of properly after it served its purpose. They are single-use gloves. We're not even sure, even if we did best sanitizing measures, how well it takes the viral load or the number of viruses that are on the surface of that glove. We know that on your skin, if you wash well with soap and water after being out there, that really decreases and disinfects your hands sufficiently to make you safe for yourself and others. But you got to do the washing properly. It has to take at least 20 seconds. You front and back between the finger creases, the thumb, and be very cognizant as you're doing that. That's better than sanitizing the surface of the gloves you're wearing to reuse it out and thinking it's protecting you, giving you a false sense of security.
Absolutely. We had a plan to talk about the psychological aspect of it, but we're running out of time. I just want to give you a minute to, what else do we need to know, and what do people need to know? Is something that I didn't ask you.
Well, where do we start? How much time do we have? And I'll tell you.
We have 1 minute.
1 minute. In 1 minute, what we need to know. Well, I just want to tell people that if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling concerned, that's normal. That's expected in times like this. Just don't let it get the best of you. We are ready to deal with something like this together, even as our own sort of built as people and human beings, but it's natural to have anxiety. And there are ways to deal with this. First, by recognizing that it's natural, so don't think there's something wrong if you're feeling anxious or off edge. There are ways to deal with your sense of social isolation now that we're telling you to stay at home. People can take their time thinking about their situation, keeping calm. Think about things like time management. What are my priorities now that I have extra time on my hands? How do I plan to deal with this? What I haven't heard being talked about in the media and what I'm suggesting is to have your personal family pandemic plan. Everybody sit down as a family, and when you're isolating, that doesn't mean every individual has to be in a separate room in the same house, for example. We're social beings. As long as there's no reason to feel we're sick or we have an illness, we hunker down together and talk about this. What is our own family pandemic plan? Just like we have a fire escape plan, and we should. If we don't have one, we should. What do we do? How do we manage our time now? How do we manage our food supplies? Do we need to go out and rush and buy things? And the answer to that question is no, by the way. We need to be kind for each other, to one another. And if there's ever been a time where we need to think about the other person and pray for your neighbor, is now. Because if everybody prays for neighbor, rest assured that you're getting a lot of those prayers towards you, and a lot of that thinking focused about your needs, your concerns, your safety, while you are in turn thinking of others. So this is the time to come together as a community. And one last thing. Media can feed this anxiety, and it can have a psychological effect. There's been a lot of studies on this. I can share with this next time if you'd like. But the bottom line is that people that consume a lot of media will have their anxiety heightened up to the point that it is noticeable, and it's been studied in human populations, that if you limit your consumption of media, especially social media, because it seems to have a higher impact on personal anxiety than traditional media sources, and you take your information from authorities, from important media outlets that are there to help you get through this public health crisis, you're going to be fine.
Absolutely. I asked my family overseas not to send me all of these crazy theories about what if and what if not and what's going to happen. And I asked them, I said, once you start forwarding these things, you just add into the anxiety. One thing before we let you go, and that is, we didn't talk about, and that is the misconceptions. And sometimes people ask us, you could use salt and water to gargle with it. That would kill the virus. You can gargle with bleach. You can do this and you can do that. And, just a final thought on that, please.
Sure. Let's start with that. And that's an important one that you bring up, actually, because some of those recommendations, while I will tell you, simply are false, like gargling with salt and water, taking steroids, gargling with acetic acid or what we know as vinegar, oils, alcohol, or even some people are talking about bleach. Some of these recommendations are not only useless, but they're dangerous. They can actually land you in a hospital with a burned esophagus and need surgery at a time when you're probably thinking, this is not the best of times to want to go to a hospital. And I understand it if you're thinking that way. And the idea is, we don't need to bring harm to ourselves. It's definitely a misconception. It's dangerous. Washing hands, avoiding close contact, like we talked about, is more helpful than those measures to reduce the spread and infection. The other thing, if you're talking about misconception, it's important to know, is a vaccine or a cure available? The answer is right now, no. Work has started on that. Are there any drugs out there that cure this? Because there's a lot of information, even it's affecting the medical community and the physicians, and there's a lot of information. But up to this point, there is no evidence-based therapies that have proven that they work to cure this condition well. There's a lot of case reports, case series, everybody's watching. And you may have heard yesterday announcement from the White House and from Dr. Fauci talking about what we're doing and what the state of the affairs is for that. There's a lot of energy and money and spent, and everybody's mobilized.
Absolutely.
Other misconceptions, if you want, I can give you a couple of good ones, but it depends on the time you have.
What are they? Very quickly.
One, the virus being deliberately created and released and spread around by people. Two, buying stuff online or that material shipped from China in boxes can get you sick or not. Face masks, you asked about that. Do they protect you? and the list goes on and on. And so there's a lot of misconceptions. And I guess instead of delving into them, unless you're curious about any particular one, is the general advice is take your messages from the public health authority as opposed to what's circulating on social media.
Sounds good. I really want to thank you for taking the time to be with us and to share this information with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Mustafa.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
If halal is important to your family, you can trust that Miramar will offer not only the highest quality halal products, but the best tasting and healthiest foods that can be placed on your family table with confidence. Miramar is the first and oldest halal certified food brand in America, serving the Arab and Muslim community, and offers a wide range of halal food products. Check out Miramar's halal food selection today by visiting Miramar's exclusive distributor, Ziyad Brothers Importing at www.ziyad.com.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. EMAD NAKKASH is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. EMAD NAKKASH. See Dr. EMAD NAKKASH and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937, 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
مرحبا سعيد.
اهلا علا.
ليش هالمقابلة الفاترة هي؟ بيقول المثل لاقيني ولا تغديني.
يما زعلتي، شنو رايك اذا لقيتك وايضا غديتك باحسن مطاعم ميشيغان مطعم اشتار؟
والله فكرة، افضل الاطباق والمقبلات العربية والعراقية واحلى ملقا.
ولا تنسين اللحوم الطازجة مباشرة من ملحمة اشتار لزباين اشتار، وملحمة اشتار توفر اختيارات متنوعة من كافة انواع اللحوم وباسعار متميزة وجودة ايضا مميزة. ملحمة اشتار تقع على 36865 راين رود في مدينة ستيرلينغ هايت.
واكيد احلى لمة واطيب لقمة في مطعم عشتار اللي عنوانه 3625 15 مايل رود في مدينة ستيرلينغ هايت. هاتف 586-698-2585
يلا علا.
يلا عشتار للجودة وكرم الضيافة عنوان
مطعم اشتار.
Life is a non-profit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hashim with wnzk.com. We want to thank Dr. Mustafa for giving out the wonderful information that he shared with us. You know, this is a time when we all have to rise to the occasion and help each other, like Dr. Mustafa suggested, help our neighbors, help everybody. And, Life for Relief has been one of those organizations and development that has always rose to the occasion. And with us, Hala Sanura, and she's a public relations specialist with Life for Relief. Good morning, Hala. Are you with us today?
Good morning. Yes, Khalil, I'm here. How are you?
Mike, is Hala with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hello?
Can you hear her?
Hello?
Oh, I think we just...
Okay, we'll wait until Hala joins us.
I'm here.
And I just want to reiterate Dr. Mustafa mentioned, and that is taking care of our neighbors. And it's very important to do that. It's very important to be conscious of our neighbors, take care of them, call on them. You don't have to go to them. I have an elderly neighbor. I called her yesterday, and she was so glad to really hear from me. And it's just amazing, my other neighbors. And can you imagine if we all do that? And if we just, take care of each other. I called several of my neighbors yesterday. They called me back. And, we're used to being together, talking to each other. And this way, at least we can see each other through the window. It is not as easy. It is tough, but we have to do that, taking care of our neighbors. Is Hala back? Good morning, Hala.
Yes, good morning. Hello?
Hala, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
For some reason, we can't hear Hala. Mike is working on that. And then she'll be with us to tell us what that organization is doing to, help everybody else when it comes to the elderly, Meals on Wheels, and other services that they are engaged in to, to really be there for one another. These are tough times. And Mike, please let us know when we can when we're able to hear Hella talk. And this is something very important. These are extraordinary times. These are times where we need to be there for each other. We are at war with a vicious virus, and if we don't know how to take care of it, it could really affect us. It could affect us psychologically. It could affect us economically, financially. It affects our relationship. It affects our relationship with everyone. And this is something very important. And I was really pleased to hear some of the organizations on social media that are sending information to provide meals in the area here. Access yesterday sent a notice saying that they're providing hot meals for dinners. Islamic House of Wisdom is providing, I think it's breakfast and lunch together. And, there are a lot of organizations doing that. Hala, we'll talk to her at some other time since we're running out of time. Anyway, it is so important to maintain our sanity. It is so important uh, to make sure that we're dealing with this situation the way we need to be dealing with. We are at home. We were talking. My family were talking. Is how best can we really, take advantage of this time being at home? How best can we really organize ourselves? And Dr. Mustafa mentioned something very important, which is, do we have a pandemic plan? A pandemic plan is, and I'm going to do some research on that because I don't have one. And this is the first time that I hear somebody really bring it up. And a pandemic plan is something in which, it can be at different levels.
Take a commercial break here and we'll try to conclude the program.
If halal is important to your family, you can trust that Miramar will offer not only the highest quality halal products, but the best tasting and healthiest foods that can be placed on your family table with confidence. Miramar is the first and oldest halal certified food brand in America, serving the Arab and Muslim community and offers a wide range of halal food products. Check out Miramar's halal food selection today by visiting Miramar's exclusive distributor, Ziad Brothers Importing at www.ziad.com.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. EMAD NAKKASH is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. EMAD NAKKASH. See Dr. EMAD NAKKASH and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937, 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us. This is Khalil Hashem. And I want to apologize to you. We're trying to coordinate this from from home, from different sources, people under pressure, and the timing didn't work as well as it should. So I want to apologize to you. And I want to thank Dr. Maleyko for joining us. I want to thank Dr. Mustafa for taking the time to be with us. And I want to apologize to Hala. She was trying to talk to us, and for some reason we could not hear her. It was a technical issue. But again, the last thing I want to leave you with, and that is, don't panic. Let's all get together. Let's work together. Don't consume too much information because it would confuse you. And, if you receive information that is, you're not really sure of the validity of it and it does not really help somebody, please don't pass it on. All this conspiracy theories and all this, you can do this and you can do that to protect yourself from the virus. Don't pass them on. You got it, delete it like I do, and just leave it to that. So you don't have to really share information that's gonna create panic in the community. The last thing we need that. Also, a the last thing is, please come up with a plan so you can organize your time and deal with this issue much better. Again, thank you so much. Thank you, Mike, for the production, and thank you for all our guests, Dr. Maleyko and Dr. Mustah. Thank you again, and have a safe and wonderful weekend. Bye now.